Imagine a time when the United States was a fragile, uncertain experiment teetering on the edge of chaos. The war for independence had been won, but the battle to build a nation had just begun. In the shadows of victory, a new struggle emerged, a struggle not against a foreign enemy, but within the very fabric of the young republic. This is the story of the Confederation Period, a forgotten chapter of American history that shaped the destiny of the nation. If you're ready to uncover the untold challenges that nearly tore the United States apart before it truly began, hit that subscribe button and join us as we dive deep into this pivotal era. The Confederation Period, an era nestled between the American Revolution and the ratification of the United States Constitution, is a fascinating yet often underappreciated chapter in American history. This period, stretching through the 1780s, was marked by the triumph of independence and the growing pains of a nation just beginning to navigate the complexities of self-governance. In 1781, the newly independent United States took a significant step toward unity by ratifying the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union. This document, while a crucial milestone, was more a reflection of the fears and desires of a nation weary of centralized authority than a blueprint for a strong, lasting government. The Articles of Confederation created a loose alliance of sovereign states, each retaining significant power, while the national government was given only limited authority. That same year, American forces, led by General George Washington, achieved a monumental victory at the Battle of Yorktown. This battle was not just a military triumph, but a symbolic end to the American Revolutionary War. The British defeat at Yorktown essentially sealed the fate of British colonial ambitions in North America, and 2 years later, in 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, formally recognizing American independence. The United States was now a free and sovereign nation, but the road ahead was fraught with challenges. With independence secured, the United States entered a period of experimentation in governance. The Articles of Confederation, however, quickly revealed their weaknesses. The new nation faced a host of problems that the Articles were ill-equipped to address. Among the most pressing issues was the lack of a strong national government. The Confederation Congress, established under the Articles, had no power to tax, regulate commerce, or enforce laws. It could request funds from the states, but these requests were often ignored, leading to a national government that was perpetually underfunded and ineffective. The economic situation in the post-war United States was dire. The war had left the nation deeply in debt, and the lack of a centralized authority to manage economic policy only exacerbated the problem. Each state pursued its own economic interests, often at the expense of the others. Tariffs and trade restrictions between states became common, leading to conflicts and a lack of economic cohesion. The inability of the Confederation Congress to regulate commerce or impose a uniform currency further complicated matters, creating a chaotic and unstable economic environment. Interstate conflicts were another significant issue during the Confederation period. With no strong national government to mediate disputes, states often found themselves at odds over issues such as land claims and trade rights. These disputes sometimes escalated into violence, as states struggled to assert their authority and protect their interests. The lack of a national judiciary or executive branch meant that there was no effective means of resolving these conflicts, leading to a sense of instability and uncertainty. The political landscape of the Confederation period was marked by deep divisions and a lack of unity. The absence of a strong central government meant that political power was concentrated in the states, each of which had its own priorities and concerns. This decentralization of power led to a fragmented political culture, with little sense of national identity or purpose. The states operated more like independent nations than parts of a cohesive whole, and the lack of a unified vision for the future of the country was a significant impediment to progress. Socially, the Confederation period was a time of great upheaval. The war had disrupted traditional social structures, and the new nation was grappling with the implications of its revolutionary ideals. The question of slavery, in particular, loomed large. While the northern states began to move toward abolition, the southern states remained deeply committed to the institution. This growing divide over the issue of slavery would only deepen in the years to come, laying the groundwork for future conflicts. In addition to the issue of slavery, the Confederation period saw the rise of popular unrest. Economic hardships, combined with the lack of effective governance, led to widespread discontent. This discontent often manifested in the form of protests and rebellions, the most famous of which was Shays' Rebellion in 1786. This uprising, led by disgruntled farmers in Massachusetts, highlighted the weaknesses of the Confederation government and underscored the need for a stronger central authority. As the 1780s progressed, it became increasingly clear that the Articles of Confederation were not sufficient to govern the growing nation. The economic and political turmoil of the Confederation period underscored the need for a more robust framework for governance. Calls for reform grew louder, and in 1787, delegates from the states gathered in Philadelphia to address the shortcomings of the Articles and to create a new constitution for the United States. The Constitutional Convention was a momentous event in American history. The delegates, representing a wide range of political beliefs and regional interests, engaged in intense debates and negotiations. The result of their efforts was a new constitution that established a stronger federal government, one with the power to tax, regulate commerce, and provide for the common defense. The new constitution also created a system of checks and balances designed to prevent any one branch of government from becoming too powerful. The ratification of the United States Constitution in 1789 marked the end of the Confederation period and the beginning of a new era in American history. The Constitution provided the framework for a stronger, more unified national government, one that could effectively manage the challenges facing the young nation. It also laid the foundation for the development of a national political culture, one that would evolve over the coming centuries. The Confederation period, though brief, left a lasting impact on the United States. It was a time of experimentation and learning, a period in which the American people and their leaders grappled with the complexities of self-governance. The challenges and failures of the Confederation government provided valuable lessons that shaped the creation of the Constitution and the development of the American political system. One of the most significant legacies of the Confederation period was the realization that a strong national government was essential for the survival and success of the United States. The weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation highlighted the need for a central authority capable of managing the nation's affairs, both domestically and internationally. This understanding led to the creation of a federal system that balanced the powers of the national government with those of the states, a system that has endured for over 2 centuries. The Confederation period also laid the groundwork for the development of American political thought. The debates and discussions of this era helped to define the principles and values that would guide the nation in the years to come. Issues such as federalism, the separation of powers, and the protection of individual rights were central to the discussions of the time, and they remain fundamental to the American political system today. The Confederation period was a time of great challenge and change for the United States. It was a period of transition, as the nation moved from the uncertainties of the post-revolutionary era to the stability of a constitutional government. The struggles and achievements of this era were instrumental in shaping the future of the United States, providing the lessons and experiences that would guide the nation as it continued to grow and evolve. As we look back on the Confederation period, it is important to recognize the significance of this often overlooked chapter in American history. It was a time of trial and error, of learning and growth, and of laying the foundation for the nation that the United States would become. The legacy of the Confederation period can still be seen in the institutions and principles that continue to define American democracy today. As the dust settled on the Revolutionary War, the real fight for America's future had only just begun. The Confederation period was a time of trial and transformation, where the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation gave way to the strength of the Constitution. This era, filled with political strife, economic turmoil, and social unrest, forged the foundation of the United States we know today. But the journey was anything but smooth, and the lessons learned during those turbulent years still echo through history. To continue exploring the dramatic moments that defined our nation's path, make sure to subscribe and never miss an episode of this epic journey through American history.